guys. Well, we're back outside again for what appears to be a beautiful day. And I really, it feels a lot nicer too than it did last time, although I hope my allergies don't act up. But, oh nice, the sun is shining too. Anyways, I came out here so we could read the next entry. This one is called Rock or Sand. This looks pretty interesting. We've had some good messages so far this week, so some pretty insightful ones too. And the next ones I'll make sure that it'll like that too, because there are some especially good ones in here, some gems. So, the wise man who builds his house on the rock is able to get safely through the storms. And the foolish man who builds his house on the sand, well, his house goes splat. But sometimes in this world, it can be tough to figure out what is rock and what is sand. The world tells you first one thing and then another. Sometimes your teachers say one thing and your parents say another. How can you know what is rock and what is sand? I am the rock. Come to me in prayer, and I'll show you what is true and what can be trusted, what is real. And ask my spirit to guide you as you study my word. Anything that does not agree with my word is sand and should not be trusted. Build your house upon the rock of my word, and then trust that I will help you stand firm when the storm comes. Because I will. Well, this one's pretty interesting, seems like. And, well, you know, on some things in particular, I mean, it's hard to know God's exact opinion for every situation you're in out of the limitless opportunities in life. You know, but, you know, I suppose this entry is just discussing the pure faith and trust that one should have, you know, in a difficult situation or a decision, and in that, you know, on the way to finding the most pure form of peace. In other words, God's peace. Huh. Right as the sun is shining. How funny is that? I don't know if you can see it. Wow. It's shining bright on me now. But I suppose that is the main theme of this message, and I don't have a lot to add to this one because it is overall, it's a pretty cohesive message, and, you know, it is especially important nowadays to know what is true and what is not, and more the gray area, the middle ground. That's also an important theme to discuss, is that a lot of us get stuck in black and white thinking, as they call it. Which, I mean, it's a pretty appropriate term, because technically, metaphorically, that's what it is, because black and white are just complete opposites, you know? If anything, it's kind of like how in a battery, you don't have, or like, you know, in an ionic charge, you don't have any sort of, you know, not much of a middle ground there, you know? On a battery, there's one side, there's positive, and the other side is negative, you know? A lot of people think like that, is what I'm trying to say, and which, in psychology, it's known as splitting, where you just kind of, you know, you put something in the right, and you put something in the wrong, and that's that. You just cut it straight to that. And that's kind of the theme of this message, is that it's easy to think, you know, when things just, just put things in such strict boxes. And on one hand, I'm against it, but on the other hand, it's pretty darn understandable, and I do agree with some points of it. So, in most people's cases, there's usually something that, that made him think that way, in the black and white sort of way. But the thing is, with God, and with just life and the beauty of life is that you really, God didn't design things to where they would be like that, I mean, there are technically things which, are like that, which, but some things just are more in the middle ground, and that's important to note too. And acceptance with God is one of the few ways to find peace in a pretty mixed up world. So overall, there's so much confusing and conflicting information nowadays that's, makes it really hard to know what's true. And that's why it's important to stick to God always, because he'll always be there for you. But yeah, I suppose that's the theme of this message, so I'll sign off for now. Thanks, guys, for being here today and for listening. It was very nice to be with you today. And I'll see you again tomorrow. I'll probably come back outside because it's pretty darn nice. So thanks, guys. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.